Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing an After Effects editing crash course for 2024. It's going to probably be very long, and I'm probably going to split it up into a couple parts. So this is part one. A lot of people come from VideoStar, so I'm going to try and relate like all the things I say back to VideoStar as much as I can, or as much as I remember, because I've been using After Effects for 4 years and I haven't touched VideoStar barely at all. Before we discuss anything having to specifically do with After Effects, let's first talk about the things we need to discuss before you even start. And this could basically be a whole part in itself, which I think it honestly will be. But so basically, the couple of things that you're gonna 100% need are your plugins. So I have a lot of plugins. I have Sapphire, I have RG or Red Giant, like all of theirs. And then I have a BBC, I have all this. But the only things that you're gonna need basically are Sapphire. You can do without it, but any tutorial besides like this, or like if it specifically says no Sapphire, is going to use something with Sapphire, especially when you have a lot of blurs. But you can get Sapphire for free if you're in school. So if you're in any type of schooling, even if you're homeschooled, whatever, you can get it for free. They give you a free license. So do with that what you will. Motion Bullet looks, I think they have a student discount, but I just have it just on my computer, you know. That's kind of necessary. It's how you do your colorings. So basically, like on VideoStar, they have that separate tab that's like coloring. That's what Motion Bullet looks is, which is MBL, which is done by Red Giant, which is why I have like everything for Red Giant. I also have like Universe and stuff, but it's not necessary. But sometimes it all comes. You might as well just load it all on just in case you want to use some of those effects. And basically what plugins are, if I didn't explain well enough to begin with, plugins are just like extra things that are added into your effects tab, which is just right over here. So that's in your effects and presets, which is on this right side. You need Twixtor if you're going to use any clips. If you're just going to use photos, you don't really need Twixtor, but Twixtor basically does slow-mo. Like, you know, your slow-mo that you have on VideoStar, there's like a special tab for it, and you have to like buy a $2.99 pack. Basically, that's what all these plugins are doing. You're just buying $2.99 packs. They're a lot more expensive because it's from the computer, but yeah. Optional plugins. I know a lot of people use Real Smart Motion Blur. I find that CC Force Motion Blur, which comes with After Effects and is basically a knockoff of Real Smart Motion Blur, better in my opinion. Real Smart Motion Blur, or RSMB, makes edits too blurry for me, and also it's really hard to find a working link for it. So do with that what you will. And then Twitch, which I haven't had in years. I don't have either of these. Since I updated my After Effects, I think a couple years ago, they moved all the plugins, so now I don't have it anymore. So, but Twitch is basically like an S-Shake plug. Another thing that you're gonna need before you start editing is you need to have a video downloader for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I can't do my recs here because they will probably like flag my video or whatever, but if you want to know what they are, you can go to my Instagram at kaylees.scenepacks. Other things that you need to have, Adobe Media Encoder. I highly recommend getting that if you're getting After Effects, which you'll already have it if you get the full suite with like Photoshop and whatever, but it's really easy to render. So basically with Adobe Media Encoder, you get your edits in the MP4 format immediately, because the way that After Effects renders things, which rendering basically just means saving, how After Effects renders or export things, it does it in an MOV file, which is really massive, and you only have so much space on your computer. You also can't watch it on Mac. I don't know about Windows. I think you might be able to watch it on Windows. Actually, maybe you can't. I don't know. I know you can watch it on your phone, like if you airdrop it to yourself or email it to yourself or whatever, you can watch it then. It'll be a huge file and you'll just be so sick of it and you'll be so irritated. If you're obsessed with editing, like, don't get this right away. Like, if you're not 100% sure, don't fork out the cash. But I think it's like $60, maybe $100 to get a hard drive. My hard drive, I'll link in the description, that I actually use. I have a 2 terabyte one. I've never had any issues with it. I love it, but it only works on Mac, so do with that what you will. This also leads me to the fact that before you start, you need to know that Mac is the best thing you can ever have as an editor. I worked on Windows for a couple years, and that was pure torture. Nothing worked. It was horrendous, so yet again, do with that what you will. Obviously, these are just all my opinions and stuff, but that's basically the first part of my After Effects crash course. So we didn't even start editing or put anything into composition. But yeah, that is basically the things you need to know before you start your editing journey. I hope that you have a good rest of your day, and stay tuned for part 2 and 3 and 4 and whatever, my Adobe crash course videos. Yeah.